Welcome to Paperweights, the podcast where two self-proclaimed gym rats and shooting enthusiasts delve into the world of literature with a sprinkle of humor. Although their biceps could crush a walnut, don't let that intimidate you. They also have a nerdy side. Mike and Brandon have a voracious appetite for reading, particularly in the fantasy genre, and they want to share their passion with you. So grab your protein shake and your favorite novel and join us for a humorous and insightful journey into the world of books with Paperweights.
Welcome back to another episode of the Paperweights. I'm your host, Brandon.
And Justin.
And Chris.
And today we will be covering day 7 of Brandon Sanderson's longest book so far, Wind and Truth, book 5 of the Stormlight Archives. But before we get into that discussion, we are sponsored by Mudcat Whiskers, a local Louisiana beard care product company. I use that daily. They have beard wash, conditioner, and they also have balms, butters, and oils to use. I use the wash and conditioner daily. It keeps it from being tangled up. I have a kind of a thick, curly consistency with my beard. And then I usually use the butter to just kind of keep it moisturized. And if I go anywhere, I want to have a little scent into my beard for anybody that gets real close. And I want to be complimented that I have the best smelling beard ever. I'll put some of the beard oil in. And I think he has like 18 to 24 different scents of beard oil. So you can pick your poison. His website has the scent profiles for all of them on there. And if beards aren't your thing or facial hair is not your thing, he does sell candles. And I think he also said he's working on cologne.
Ooh.
So look forward to that. You can follow him on Instagram. It's at Mudcat Whiskers. And you can visit his website, www.mudcatwhiskers.com. And don't forget to use code Paperweights at checkout to save yourself 15%. And I learned something really cool about the owner this week. The owner, Nick, is a robotics teacher. And I don't know if it's high school or middle school, but he is the robotics teacher, and the money he makes from his beard care product sales, he uses to supplement his classroom, his robotics classroom. So not only are you helping to maintain your own looks and health, you are supporting the education of kids into robotics, and that's awesome. So you should go buy twice as much as you were going to buy. So, oh yeah, I mentioned this last episode. We should do it earlier. So, if you are a fan of this podcast, anywhere you listen or watch, if it's YouTube or anywhere, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, leave a rating and a review if you can, and comment. If you're on YouTube, leave us a comment. We'd like to talk to you.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we'll comment back, Who
Yeah.
knows? We might argue with you like we argue with each other.
yeah, we can have full range discussions in the comment section on YouTube. And with that, make sure you go back and listen to the previous episode, the entire thing, because you don't know where it's at inside of it. There is a chance for you to win some Stormlight swag or Cosmere swag from my friend Cosmere Mo's Etsy shop. Nobody has claimed it yet, and that episode has been out for a week now. So, alrighty. Unless somebody has in between the time we've recorded this episode and posted it, and then that might be awkward, but you'll know. You'll know when you get there if somebody beat you to it. So, All right, let's discuss day 7, which I think is the most happening day so far of these 10 days.
Day two had a lot, and then after that,
Day 2 had a lot of pages, but I
it
think
had them.
Honestly, I don't really remember what happened on day two.
I don't either. I just know it was like 200 pages,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
day 7 had, for as short as it was, a lot of stuff happened, and I think it moved the story along really well.
yeah. Like yes and no, but yeah, more happening in the other like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
We get some traction on Azimir. We kind of get something about the Recreants, and hopefully they'll be out of the spiritual realm next day. I really hope they really need to get back to the real world.
Yeah, I
There'll be a,
think they will leave the spiritual realm on day 8.
I think there will be at least one solid day, if not more than that, of them trying to get back. Because now, I mean, fast forward to the end that we know that Odium is now watching them. There's going to be at least a day of dealing with Odium in the spirit realm.
True.
They're not going to be out till day 9, maybe day 10. It might be like countdown on the timer before the explosion goes off.
Yeah, and I could see that too.
The timer always stops at 1.
The timer hasn't even started, guys.
What are you talking about? They're 7 days in.
Yeah.
No, for this episode.
Um,
Um,
they need them back. They need the Stormlight. They need all the power, and it's not going to happen till, day 10.
I just
I don't think so.
what other thing are they gonna need to see? I guess they need to see when Honor actually dies or whatever.
Well, now they're dealing with Odium. There's going to be an entire day of them
I
fighting
know.
to try to get there with Odium. So next chapter, they probably won't move along anymore, or next day, they probably won't move along anymore, but it will be, oh, here's what I could have been. Oh, here's what I'm afraid to be.
Yeah.
Justin, I
Yeah.
mean, Justin, you look like you're loving it.
I'm over it, but I've been over this entire book, so it's cool. I need them to actually start doing stuff, and I need the contest to happen. And
I think this is how many pages are we in right now? Almost 1,000.
7, yeah, yeah.
880 pages in. This is, to me, this is the weakest 880 pages.
Last book was really weak at the beginning.
It's yeah, it's because I was thinking, I know this is not the story he wants to do with Kaladin, but just think of how much better this book would be if Kaladin was in Sigil's place, and then you could have Seth like doing having a journey of self-discovery on his own with Nail or something, and then you could have both battles have characters you care about fighting it, and you could have Kaladin actually being heroic, um, and being because he's the main character, but he hasn't done anything for 2 books. And then you could have like the crazy spiritual stuff and maybe move that along, shorten that, and it'll just be a much tighter book. Instead, Kaladin's done nothing for 2 books, and everybody else just Sigil's doing stuff, and it's interesting. The only really good stuff is Adolin because he's the only one that's doing stuff for this book and having consequences.
See, I really am enjoying the Kaladin Seth stuff as well. Um, and yeah, it's not the same type of action that we saw in the first 3 books from Kaladin, but it's part of his character growth arc. Like it's it's what he needs to be. It's what he needs to learn as a person, like because he's spent so much. He really is the opposite of Seth, right? So I was thinking about this. Like he's spent so much of his life telling people, like being there for somebody, like n making sure he was there to try to protect anybody that he loved. and not really. I don't think he gave much thought to the fact that they could handle themselves. He just felt the need that, oh, here's someone, I have to be the knight in shining armor all the time. I have to be there to protect them. While Seth, on the other hand, he was always like, I don't trust myself. I need somebody to tell me what to do. And then the fact that I like that they're together now, because Seth is like, Kaladin, tell me what to do. And Kaladin really wants to tell Seth what to do,
But
but he's also like, I
you
need
need,
to learn how to let people be a person, become a person, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get what he's doing. I just think it's really bad to have the
I
main character of your series not do anything for 2 books. Because he
I
didn't do really anything last book except to the
he
very
did more than
end.
anyone else last book,
Sure. And in
except
this
for Navani. Navani did more last book, but that was
yeah. And in this book, he's done absolutely nothing besides just tell Seth a couple of like words or whatever. And, like I get his character growth and stuff. It's just it doesn't work for me. I wish the thing that's weird about this series is Kaladin's the main character, but not the main character of the story. So like he because Dalinar is the main character of the story. And it's just weird. And I just wish he would do something. I really wish one Bridge 4 member was a little bit resentful of Kaladin. I think that's what it is. Because they
see,
should.
I
They should.
I
At least one of them.
I
they got
don't
one.
Moash doesn't count.
Shink.
I don't see. I think you're wrong, Justin. I don't think Kaladin is the main character of this
He is the main
story.
character of the book.
He is not.
He's
Dalinar is the main character of the story and the plot of the show of the series, but as far as written goes, Kaladin's probably the main focus of the written words.
yeah,
Well,
he's
that's
the,
like
Even if the story main character is Dalinar.
yeah, he's the
That
first
That being said,
we're introduced to.
I agree with you. I like this. I like what they're doing with Seth. I like that it's something a little bit different, and you're exploring more of Kaladin. You're exploring a whole other facet of him growing, him
you.
learning to be something else.
It
He's
would
more of a
be
person.
and it would be hard to have that change, that progression of Seth's character without Kaladin being
yeah,
there.
yeah, but
But
How else is
look,
Seth gonna take Honor's spot?
what?
How else is Seth gonna take Honor's spot and become the new god that stops all the violence?
he's
Like
he's not. But look. Saying Kaladin is the
I have a theory on who's gonna take it, by the way.
saying Kaladin is the main um character of this story is like based on how much book page time he has, is like saying Tyrion is the
no, he's
main
introduced
character of Song of Ice and
as the main character. He is the main character.
He's the
just,
main
It's just a fact.
written character.
Yes.
He is the
So is
character that
Tyrion
draws the most
Lannister.
focus that you know most
Tyrion
about.
Lannister
As
was
far as
never
the
the main
plot
character.
goes, he's not the main plot
Yes,
hinge
exactly.
point,
Exactly.
but he's the main character. He is the main character.
He is the main character. Like
He's not the plot,
he's not
like
the
the
plot main
center of the
character.
plot.
That's
but he's the main-
Dalinar. It's fine. It just he's the guy we spend the most time in. He's the first Radiant. Like he is the main character, and he's gonna become I don't know chosen one of the fucking wind, whatever that means. So we still don't know what the hell that means.
He's
To the
not
people
the first
listening.
Radiant.
To the people listening, this is when you comment. Let us know what you think and tell us why Brandon's wrong.
Oh, I'm the wrong one out of these.
He's the first Radiant we're introduced to the book because he's the main character of the first book, and the main character of the second book, and the third book, and not the main character
And
of
he's the
four
only
and
one that
five.
does anything in the fourth book besides Navani.
Yeah, and he's the one that saved everybody at the end. He's the main character. It's fine. I just think that this plot I need
He's
this
not the
plot.
main plot focal point, but he is the main character.
The problem is all these plots, and it's been 7/10 of this book, are so disjoint. Like Kaladin doesn't even know why he's at Shinovar, right? It's like, I don't know. Wit was like, maybe go there. And he even says like this thing. He's like, I'm not gonna be at the main battle, so I guess I'm gonna do something here, maybe. I don't know. If he had like a
Justin,
goal.
You do realize something he's going to do there is going to save everyone.
I know that. It's just
You know that. I know that.
but he doesn't know
don't know
that.
that. So just like he's still gonna main character at some point. Like just
It just makes the rest of the book real
I
boring.
like it.
That's fine. I mean, y'all can like it. I already
There are
said
parts
Well,
of the
I,
thank
book I
you for
don't
your
really like, but
permission. Thanks
Yeah.
for your permission, Justin.
I'm just saying, like the only
I
thing in
mean
this book that
I need
is interesting to me is the Adolin stuff. Because
I need your
Adolin's is the only character
written
that's
details.
actively doing stuff. There's interesting active battle happening. I'm really interested in Maya coming back and him doing stuff. Like that part all works for me. Dalinar and Navani and Shallan and Renarno faffing about in the spiritual realm for like 500 pages is like not that interesting. The Ghost Bloods aren't interesting. I don't know what they're trying to do. Like this book is a bunch of faffing about. It's really annoying.
So
I
I have a comment on this. I can save it till later, or I can, since we're just complaining right now, I can put it right here.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'm not complaining.
Oh, Justin is, and I have one to add on to that. It is the Renarin Relaine relationship. I realized that while rereading it, like yesterday, when it got to them, talking about like the thing is, I actually love them together. Why wasn't it 2 books ago? Like I'm reading now, and I'm like, you don't have time to develop this. There's not enough page space left to make this worth it. Like I would much rather know about other things. Why didn't you? This was more interesting the way they're like putting them together.
Yeah.
Like they're like two broken souls that are fitting perfect. That's different than anyone else. Like they had like Delanar and Bonnie are both like like great powerful beings that figured out how to be powerful but still together. Like Adolin and Shallan are both very attractive, but Shallan's broken, but he's learning how to love her anyway, and he was kind of a play like that kind of thing. But you didn't have
Yeah.
two like people who are so have their giant defenses up and they're slowly actually breaking each other down to get through to each other. That's beautiful. That's a great thing. That should have been 2 books ago. It does not need to be here. I know why it's here, and I have theories on that when we get to it. But I'm just
Because
like,
it's a it's a s- time is a circle, and there was a people in the past that
yeah,
love
yeah,
each
yeah, yeah,
other.
yeah. It's gonna get there, but
But
it's just they should have, if they wanted that, if they wanted them to have a relationship, they should have at least started the groundwork. They could have had it formed now, but they should
I
have had some of these conversations they're having 2 books ago, or at least 1 book ago.
yeah,
I agree.
Like it's just being force wedged in, and it's just like you want more plot moving forward, not developing relationship. The time to develop character and character like character arcs like that aren't plot relevant, but just character relevant, that's past. It's too late now.
yeah.
Unless it's Seth, who his character growth is a plot element.
I think the Seth Kaladin stuff would work better for me if Shinovar was more interesting. But all they've done is like walk around and fought like 5 people or whatever. And like
Fights have been awesome.
sure the fights are fine, but like Shinovar itself is real boring. I don't know. It's just I need it.
Well,
It's
let's
just not
jump
what
in.
it's not what I want. But we can go on.
Yeah, let's jump into the chapters. Because speaking of fights, there's some really cool shit.
There's cool fights.
No, before we ever get started, we're going to talk more about the book in general for another hour.
Yeah, I will say this day is the best this book has been so far.
Yes.
So it is starting to set up the Sanderland stuff, and like it's probably gonna be fun at the end, hopefully. But getting there has been. I think it's because each progressive book, the Sanderland, has been more and more of a slog to get to it, and this one is just continuing that because like book 4, the Sanderland was fun, but the slog to get there was like even more. And book 3 was like the best book so far.
Book 2,
But
man. Book 2,
3.
when they had that fight, like in the
Book 2 is
arena
by
fight.
far the best book.
Huh?
I said book 2 is by far the best book.
I love book 2.
Yeah,
Like book 3 is solid, but book 2 is.
I think book 3.
That's fine. Book 3 is really good.
Yeah, and I really like book 1.
Yeah, I like all of them.
But anyway, all right. So a true Radiant. We got some Sigil, we get some Vinley, we get some Yasna. So Sigil's with his generals. They're chilling. They figure out that the enemy is not gonna pushed to capture the Oath Gate, because all that will do is make them have to fight to the death. They want them to leave an opening so they can retreat, because getting the territory is what matters, and cornering animals will make them fight. Boom. That's so they're like, all right, we don't really need to do that. Then they're gonna basically make it so it looks like their Stormlight cache is in another area to draw them into another fight where they want to fight. By using some light weaving to show a bunch of gemstones and stuff. We get some latent death flags where he's like, "Am I true radiant?" And you are, but you're dead. So goodbye, Leighton. And let's see.
You are, but you're dead.
Yeah,
You're sure.
we get a little bit of well, Kaladin trusts us, so you can trust yourself and stuff like that. And don't worry, because Kaladin's doing something very important. That's kind of that. They're gonna
Sigzil also finally feels like he is independent
yes.
and has found his place in the world.
Yeah.
That to us it might not feel like, especially to Justin, might not feel great because he doesn't think Sigzil has any defining characteristics. However, it's a big moment in Sigzil's life.
Yeah.
So
Sigzil's fine. I'm just saying he as a character to me is not. I'm not emotionally invested in Sigzil. He's kind of cool, but if instead it was Kaladin, it would be way more invested in this fight.
Kaladin is S rating character. Scar, I would put Scar a little higher than him.
Where is Scar?
I don't even know.
Scar
Rock, Tef before he died, those are A characters. Sigzil's like a B. He's up there, he's important, but he's not as.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking too? Where is their airship? Do we know where it is?
It's so slow moving. I think it's just there and back at.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Where is it?
maybe that's where Scar is.
Maybe.
He's just flying the airship about.
Yeah.
Laughing
Yeah.
about in an airship.
Because I could
Oh no, isn't Scar aren't Scar and Drahe with
Did they go with
The Mink?
Lopin?
the who?
the mink?
Yeah, because the mink took like half the people to her days.
Yeah, he took like what, 5 to 10?
He took like 100.
I don't think he took 100.
I don't think he took
He took
100.
a crap ton of them.
He took 20, I think.
Yeah,
Of
it
the
was
100 or
handful.
something like that. They don't have that many dudes.
I
mean,
know that was the
maybe
thing.
they're
He
with
took like half the Windrunners.
maybe with the ninja. But yeah, I forgot where they're at. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, he's fine. He's just not to me I think he was developed too late. So if he was like Rock instead of Sigzil, that works for me too. Or he, like Chris said, should have developed Sigzil a little bit more. Because all we really knew about Sigzil was that he was an apprentice to Hoid, and nothing came of that. Just still really weird.
Oh no, Scar is in the Shattered Plains.
Is he?
Yeah, because the last thing he told what the fuck? Hold on. Where is it? Where did I have that? Let's see. Yeah, Sigzil told Scar and Leighton that Murloc was there. That was in chapter
Right.
74. That was the last day. That was the previous
I
day.
guess we're just missing Drahe. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, he's getting cool. He's becoming a real boy, a real general. And then we get some Vinley. They're going through the chasms. They're trying to get back to where they're at. They have a little conversation of why the Everstorm was so powerful. Maybe it was because it actually hit on the Shattered Plains, and whatever weird thing was hidden here amplified it, or it could just be it was the first time it was done. But they're kind of doing a lot of stuff. They have a little bit of Leshwi. We get some of her, and she's like, I don't know if I can survive without Odium and all that stuff. and they're gonna find a place for her, and then they find like an old bridge, and it's kind of that stuff. And then Yasna, last we have Yasna. We get confirmation that the ships are decoys, and she's gonna send her people to the Shattered Plains.
Yeah, I don't know where
Queen-
Drehy is. Because last I have a note about Drehy is chapter 30 when he was with Renarin and Rlain.
Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah.
just went to get a count. He sent 50 Windrunners with the Mink. Still like half of their active force or something.
That's
Yeah.
I wonder if the mink will ever come back. I would hope so.
Do you want to know?
I mean, I think he's probably at a interlude or something. But
I
yeah,
looked ahead to what the interludes were.
Um,
is he an interlude?
He is, and then the other one, why can't I remember
I know
the
we get a room.
Oh, Risen. Yeah, Risen's the next one, and then uh the Mink is the last one. Yeah, so
that makes me happy.
I have to say maybe so I one maybe I forgot what I was thought I might be wrong about because I wrote a note that said so maybe I was wrong.
Maybe you're right.
Just deal with it. Maybe you were wrong.
But then I wrote, but maybe Yasna will figure out Elf's Gates. So I think Yasna is going to figure out Elf's Gates, and I think
Just She's gonna
Vin
send it to Asia.
Vinley is going to figure out Elf's Gates too. And I really feel like
Does
I don't know,
Vinley-
for some reason I feel like they're going to resolve the Shattered Plains first, maybe, and then go rescue Adolin.
They don't need to Elsgate to get to the Shattered Plains, though.
They need an Elf's Gate to Azamir.
Yeah, they need an Elsgate to Azamir.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wrong, but like I had a theory last day that she was gonna learn how to Elsgate and she was gonna have to decide between the two. Then I was like, wait, no, she doesn't need to Elsgate to get to
Yeah.
the
The
Shattered
Shattered
Plains.
Plains. Yeah, she's
So
totally
once
gonna
she
take
figures
the
it out, they're
Oathgate
going to
with her.
Azir.
Yeah.
Or
Azamir. Sorry.
or what's gonna happen is um well, one thing I'm pretty sure what's gonna happen, Vinley and Yasna are all gonna be at the Shattered Plains. I mean, Vinley's already there, but she's gonna end up talking with our human coalition. And then I think they're gonna be like, oh shit, somebody needs to go rescue Adolin. And either Vinley or Yasna are. I feel like Yasna is probably going to be the one that goes um, from the Shattered Plains to Azamir via Elf's Gate. Or the other option, which I just thought of, is well, they wouldn't be. Well, maybe they do. So Rlain and Renarin convinced Ja not to have her corrupted Spren switch sides, and now the Oathgate at Azamir works again. But I think that is less interesting than having Yasna, and that takes away like Yasna's progression of figuring out how to Elsgate.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that. I was also thinking that it'd be kind of cool if like Yasna and Moash fight. Yasna kills Moash, but her spread gets killed, and we get a Yasna with no powers. Which would be kind of cool.
She would still be a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly.
Yeah. So oh, man. I gotta save that, but it's about the Honor Blades. So whenever we get to Seth and stuff, remind me I have a thing about honor blades.
All right. Rhythm of Longing. We get some Renar, we get some Chopin, we get a little Relaine.
That's my notes for this.
We get a bunch of them on their pass. We start with Shalon. She is at her house. Their parents are arguing. So we get some of that stuff.
Question, real quick.
Hmm.
So Shalon is what she in the first book she was 19. She was like 2 years older than Kaladin.
Something like that.
I don't remember the exact age, but it was something like that. Yeah, she was late teens.
She's older than Kaladin by a couple of years, right?
Okay.
Maybe.
Either way, the beginning is also how many years? So Kaladin in the Shattered Plains is how many years after the epilogue or the prologue?
I think it's about like it's 6 years after the prologue.
Okay, so that puts
He's 18 in Mega Kings by the end.
okay. So what was hold on. Words of Radiance. Hold on. Oh God, why did that happen?
But just to finish her stuff.
6 years.
She
Oh,
bas-
no. Hold on. So look, the first flashback we get of Shallan is 6 years ago, and Shallan is being comforted by her father after she killed her mother. 6 years ago is the prologue where Gavilar dies. In one of the, I think in Navani's, no, it was Nail. It was Nail in this one, or was it in the last book that he was like, "Oh, one of us died. One of the heralds died." The time matches up. Shallan has red hair. I wonder if her mother was Chana.
No, I don't think
We
so.
have not seen Chana.
well, no, I mean she has to be back in the
Yeah, why wouldn't
place.
she just come back then?
Yeah.
Because if she died, she didn't die by any special way. Like she didn't die with something that like sucks the infested
So,
trap.
so,
Why wouldn't she just have been back?
She would be back now because of the
well, we don't know. We don't know what it takes for them to be back. Um, but so Talanet came back, but he was there because he never broke. But the Oath Pact was in place as long as they all held to the Oath Pact. If one of them broke the Oath Pact, they all returned and it opened the way. So Talanat never broke. He was there for thousands of years. Chana dies. Chana breaks. That sends both of them back. And that's why Talanat appeared.
I don't like that just because I don't like the idea of there's an unknown herald that's either thinks it's a good idea to the other people or whatnot that they need to kill her daughter. Because isn't that I was like that was the whole thing was like my daughter has a sprint, my daughter needs to be stopped.
yeah.
Like
Well, we don't actually know.
we
We
don't know
don't know what
exactly why,
happened.
but that's how it was portrayed. So now that would be retconning the whole thing about like that hidden organization that her mom was worth. I like that just muddies stuff. I
Was
mean, it's possible.
wasn't her mom
Like,
working with the Ghost Bloods?
yeah.
I, I don't know.
I mean, it's possible. Um,
I mean,
And it also it totally fits in with why she paused when she looked back at Chana in that vision in the spiritual realm. And why it said something about what the implications of that were.
Sure.
And
That's
and and she hasn't faced this yet. She went back on the vision, like she changed this vision. We find out in chapters later. Um, she changed the vision.
It says right here she changed the vision. Sean woke, it was that day, white carpet. No. The vision shifted.
Right.
Like, we know already she shifted the vision. She changed it.
Yes, because she doesn't
Yeah,
want,
she doesn't want to see that again.
and Mishram wanted her to see that so that she totally knew that her mother was Chana the Herald.
I just don't see the point of it. I don't.
Oh, yeah, you're just
I mean,
adding excess complexity to something that's already complex enough.
yeah.
And I also mean this in general. I find it very hard to believe that like, how would that work? Can the Heralds have children? Because
We don't know.
in the words of Always Sunny, all the surprises he has a kid, all the raw dog loads he's been dropping. I mean, like, these heralds are crazy. They're not following some of them are not following their oaths, really, or stuff like that. Or even if they were falling in love with mortals, they've been around for thousands of years. They would have kids. They would be lineages of this stuff. But
Ash is Jezreel's daughter.
Ash was Jezreel's before they became under the bonded by the words,
I have something with Ash.
and before they became heralds. So I'm just saying, like, that was before they became heralds.
I mean, it comes up later, but I do have a question with Ash. Should I do it now?
Sure, we're off the rails.
All right. Wasn't it established that Ash and Talanet were lovers?
Yes.
Then why was she like, he's like a sibling I never had? I was like, what?
When was that?
In her
In this
chapter,
book.
in this book,
It says that in a little bit.
yes, and I was very confused about that.
Yeah, I
I
feel
mean,
like they were lovers.
Yes, I thought it was established.
maybe it was the fact that they never were. They were just that close. Where people just
I
assumed that's what it
I thought
was.
she
Yeah.
said they were lovers. I don't know. But yeah, that was the one thing. We'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, that was really weird. Anyway, maybe it would make that weird sentence make sense, but I really don't need more weird Shalon stuff. But we're gonna get it, so
We're gonna get it.
I don't know what that would. Maybe she's able to like take her place in the Oath back or some weird thing like that. Oh, I guess we need to see where Shauna is in the world now. Yeah, we get Renarin. We have a scene where he's like bullied or whatever. But he like beats up the bullies now. And he's like, I like that Aelin helped me, but now I don't need him to help me. Then we get Renarin, or not Renarin, Relaine,
Relaines.
and he's like, we need to send the spies, and he's like, nobody else wants to go, and I feel a little sad that nobody likes me, but I'll go, and he's gonna go.
They're all like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We'll send him." Wait, nobody. Wait, hold on, guys, hold on. I didn't
Wait, I was just volunteering, man.
like
careful what
everybody
you wish
else
for.
was like, "No, this person can't go because of such and such," and y'all are just like, "Oh yeah, let's send them."
I mean,
No, we like him. You can't go. No, we'll miss you. What about me? Yeah, that's a good idea.
he is just a soldier, so he is very expendable. I do see the point of sending him. But yeah, that's that. Kind of.
That was I already said my big piece on this chapter, so
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
what?
I can see it, but I don't know what that means. So maybe we'll find out.
Yeah.
It's also where she first gets Testament. That's like the big thing.
Yeah.
Chapter 80, seeing the future. Let's see what we got. We get some Adolin, we get some Navani. Adolin finds this new fangled technology called a binocular. He's like, this is really cool. And he's like, oh shit, there's Heavenly ones coming. This is gonna be bad.
at first, dude, I was so confused at the end where it's like, "Oh yeah, these let us see the future." I was like, "Oh wait," I was like, "Wait, what? These is this
Yeah.
like Truth Watcher technology put into?" No, it just lets you see so far ahead that you know what's coming. It was like after when read it again, I was like, oh, Kolot's like, oh yeah, you can see so far ahead. You know what's going to be coming in like the next like couple of hours. Like you could see the future.
Yeah, it's yeah, kind of weird. They get some Navani. They're in Irathiru. The tower's starting to break. And then there's discussion between Skybreakers and the uh, Windrunners and stuff, and the bondsmith Leshy, who he puts her into his body, and they're they're distrustful of this guy named Gareth. I guess that's his name.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and
that's how I pronounce it at least.
we learn that they know where humans came from, and yeah, they're gonna like go do stuff.
So this this section is 10 years before they actually get to the chapter later on, right? Before Malishi uh captures Mishram. It's like years before, right?
Probably.
It's like 10 years before.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, and it's confusing because when I was re-listening to it, in this section, Gareth and Malishi were like in agreement with each other. They were kind of on each other's side against the Skybreakers and Nail at this point. And so, like, whatever happened in the next 10 years was strange, where Malishi just kind of was like, nope, fuck you, Gareth. Um,
Yeah, and certain point away, Gareth is a traitor, so makes
Yeah.
sense.
He was all
We'll get to when we get to the recreants. I don't understand the recreants at all.
well, we're still not
This is
at
just
the
yes, I'm saying we're gonna get to it. But anyway, then we get some Adolin, but yeah, cool stuff. We're getting to see some more ancient herald or not heralds, radiants. Then we get some Adolin.
this was a
Uh,
very, they have a cave troll moment.
yeah. There we get some tactics. They've been expanding the fortifications and stuff. And they're like, we're there's more fuse coming. This is gonna be bad. Uh, we get some uh Maya being like, I'm coming, hold on. Um, and they're gonna fall back to the palace if everything goes bad. Um, and then let's see what else we got.
They discussed the legality of what it means to hold the city.
Yeah.
Um,
So they're gonna basically, as long as he's sitting on the throne, they have Azmir, and then basically the Notam's like, "Hey, stuff's going bad. There's the thunderblast coming. Boom."
um, yeah. So for in here with Zabra complaining about the bows being too heavy and everything, and Aiden, she's like, "Well, why does the Emperor get to go?" Aiden's like, "Well, he has shard plate." She's like, "Oh, so if I have shard plate," it's like, "Well, that's hard to come by." He's like, "Oh, I mean, I'm sure I could kill somebody with shard plate." I'm like,
The people
okay,
come, or
but
when all
also,
the people come back, you're gonna get shard blade.
yeah, if in Maya
Hmm.
when Maya comes, yeah,
When all the Deadeyes come back.
um. I also thought it was so you remember last episode I was like, man, all this talk about strategy with towers moves, like it could be foreshadowing like of what's to come. But in this one, Zanaz's final adage is like, never assume the game actually replicates real life. I'm like,
like this is just a game, y'all.
Yeah.
so I think that was Sanderson also telling fans, hey, the conversation last time. That was just like conversation. It's not
Yeah.
foreshadowing of what's going on in the battle. And it could be, still could be. Um,
Yeah.
what else? What
But
I was gonna say? Oh, there was So I think this is gonna have to come up because why would you name somebody? So in the uh, tower bit with Navani, they named Kazala, and like the Windrunners condemned him or her. They didn't give a gender. So I think this person is important, and I think we're gonna learn more about this person in the coming days.
Yeah. Also, the epigraphs is just like Wit's letter back to Yasna. It's about nothing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they texted back and forth their breakup, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems amenable
yeah. So
somewhat.
I
They
don't
still want to
think.
be seeing each other on the down low, you know? Like it's nothing exclusive anymore, but you know.
Anytime he comes to Roshar, they
Yeah,
like
it's
to
like
hook
I'm
up.
in town for the week. What you want? You want a good meal? Yeah, sure. What you been up to?
Yeah.
I
So
I'm on the planet for the weekend. Do you want to get nailed? What? No, the Herald's dead.
no, me like oh yeah. So I do
Boom, hey,
have.
that's right up Wit's alley. Uh,
I was gonna make more jokes, but this needs to be at least rated PG-13, I think. No, I do have one kind of issue or question when they apply, like,
That's also a Herald.
what does it mean to take the city? And it's like, well, they talks about how the other kingdom tried to form, and then it became law, the Asia's law that, it's the whoever, like, as long as the emperor sits in the throne room here in the capital city, that's my problem with that is it says back in page 170 where Wit's first like, oh my God, he exploiting a loophole. He says that because Delinar in Delinar's negotiation, um
It's
he
a lefty
returned
code of law.
yeah, it was the Alethi call, which means if you capture the seat of the power, they get it. Like, is it to each nation their law and how they determine whether they fall, or is it all based off of the Alethi law? Because I thought it was all based off of the Alethi law, and that was the
I
loophole.
I
Well,
think that is the loophole.
So it doesn't matter what a law in Azimir says, right?
well, you could argue that the seat of power is the palace.
I mean, you could argue that, but I know it's weird that they bring up that it's coming the loophole is the law from one place, but then the law is different somewhere else. Like then, okay, what's the Azimir? Isn't that it sounds like it's also the Aegis rule for if you lose your kingdom, because if they lose that room and the throne and they're gonna
But
lose.
if Alethi law states that they believe the seat of power is whatever other nations, then it would have to be a Azish law for what they consider their seat of power to be.
I guess like
But that's complicated.
yeah, it's adding a lot of layers to something that's already actually kind of why things are happening.
Yeah. Let's not go with it.
Did you say best not dwell on it?
Yeah, or yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's. I mean, the Aegis would know the treaty and know that this would work, right?
Oh, you know
You
what?
kind of just to go with it.
You know what? I'm
I
fine
do
with
think
that
it's a
hand
little
waving.
weird.
I'm I am fine with the hand waving that the Aegis read the contract, understood the loophole, and said, well, technically for that loophole to have effect here in Azimir, it had means this.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
fine with that.
we'll see if it actually, works or whatever.
Who do y'all think Gox is going to marry? I know Chris thinks he's going to die, so
Um,
do you think it's Zabra or Lift?
I,
Uh we know who the Queen of Azmir is gonna be. May Aladar. She's gonna save Gox on the battlefield, and he's gonna turn to her, and next thing you know, like they're just gonna have veiled references in book 6 about like the king and queen empresses of Azmir, and it's gonna be her.
could be.
Justin, you
I mean,
support that theory?
Yeah, it's either that or Shallan because Gox dies and Aedelin becomes king of Azemir.
Ah, I like that one too.
But I don't think it's Lift.
No, it's not Lift.
You don't
So
think Lyft is going to become royalty?
No, Lift's not going to stay on the planet.
Think Lyft
uh,
is leaving?
Yes.
I hope Lift is the main character of books 6 through 10.
Oh, Lift is.
That's my
With
I
Risen.
love Lift.
Risen
Huh?
and Lyft.
Risen has a better chance to lift us.
Yeah.
but
Chapter 81?
81.
I tried
The
one.
Scholar with the Spear. We get some Sigil, we get some Adolin, we get some Kushkum. We get some
Hey, put some respect on that name. Zarb.
Zarb. All right, we get some Sigil. He's fighting. He murks like 3 Skybreakers. He's also pretty badass.
Easily, it said.
Yeah. And he kills like some focus ones because he like does some cool stuff. Fighting's cool. Basically his strategies work. They're starting to push more forces to the place where they think their gemstones are at. And then they've spotted some Moash. Oh no. Let's go fight Moash. Then we get some Adolin. He he's in his armor. He has this aluminum chain that is supposedly gonna do something that kind of doesn't. It like zaps the investiture, so it like deadens the leg of what I'm guessing. Him and Nazam, the other sword bearer, are gonna go do that because the Thunderclass is coming to go break the dome. And we learned that they have a weak spot, the Thunderclass, in the base of their neck, so they're basically Titans from Attack on Titan. So good to know there. They need the 3-dimensional gear moving stuff in
I
that
think
show.
most things with a spine have a weak spot at the base of their neck.
Yeah, this like actually like kills it. These are giant rocks, so they don't have spines.
Yeah, they're spread.
Yeah,
Um,
that's where
there-
the spread resides in the nape of the neck, just like in Attack on Titan. Spoiler alert.
I love
For
the
like first episode.
Yeah,
I loved when he was riding Gallant and Gallant's like, I don't want to do this. He goes, well, regular horses, it would like take 2 stallions to pull this cart. And Gallant's like, you manipulating me? And it
Is
was
it
like,
working?
yeah, but it works, right?
yeah. Unfortunately, he really needed a snow speeder to trip the AT-AT, but
I thought that's what was gonna happen.
yeah. Let me get some Kushcam. He's like trying to organize stuff and wounded soldiers, and then like, oh no, we got some deepest ones, and we're screwed. Bad news there. We get some Sigil. Uh, Sigil and Leighton. Leighton's getting attacked by Moash. Uh, Moash's got like the Fabrial that suppresses powers that we saw in the last book. But his honor blade still works. So he murks Leighton, rip Leighton. And then yeah, he gets yes. Basically he runs away. But there's a fight. It's cool. Leighton just dies. He gets a little death rattle.
He gets a brutal death rattle.
That was confusing. In writing, like just reading it on page was confusing. When I listened to the audiobook, it made a little more sense.
And I was like, I had chills after that. I don't know why, but like that hit me like because it's like these death rattles are like prophetic, you know that. So
Yeah,
just to hear someone scream as you, oh God, I'm being killed, it's like,
he gets a death rattle
oh.
that Sigil is gonna die, so rip Sigil. Um,
Mm,
so
mm.
yeah, so
I'm curious to how that's going to happen.
Now would be what would be amazing. I would give Brandon Sanderson so much respect if Sigil dies just like it's represented he's going to. I'd be like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But he still does it to like maybe like save people by time, something like that. Like he knows he's gonna die, but he just faces it.
So the OG Bridge 4, we got Rock, except Rock got executed, so Rock's dead. So we have Kaladin, we have Sigzil,
Drahi and Scar,
Rehi Scar,
Lopen.
Lopen, technically Moash. I guess those are the only ones left, huh? That were named and interesting.
I
We got
think
the other dude that was cured of his mental illness. Last, but what was his name?
David.
Yeah, I guess we still have Tabit.
Yeah, we do have David. He's in the
By the
tower.
way, on a side, this is completely off the rails, but we've been off the rails, so screw it. I have a theory on where Rock is.
Yeah.
So I'm rereading book one, and in it he talks about how like they don't have any shard plates or anything up there. And whoever they keep coming down, like challenging shard bearers to try to get one, because the first shard bearer that comes back will be king and unite all the kingdoms. Well, who's going to go back up there, have bonded some spren that we don't know about, and be able to pull out armor and a fucking sword and unite the kingdoms?
Well, technically, his daughter has the shard blade.
Yeah, but she didn't go back. He's going to be the first one back.
Where is she?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, where is Cord?
she was.
She's
with-
supposed to be around Risen, isn't she? That was the whole thing. Is like she was.
But book 4, she was on the airship that disappeared.
Maybe she's still on the airship that disappeared.
Maybe she's still.
Maybe it's really disappeared now.
Yeah.
Don't Google it.
Oh.
You're gonna find something out you don't want to see.
I'm not Googling it. I'm Googling my notes.
I don't think, unfortunately, Rock's. I would like Rock to be back because I think this
Yeah.
series has sorely missed him.
Yeah, he was a odd good point of both levity yet kind of focused everything down to earth,
Yeah.
but kept things from being too serious. I don't know. He was a good
Yeah.
character.
She
He was a good counterpoint.
She was in Aesir and shot Nail in the face with the shard bow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the last I have of her.
Yeah. So maybe maybe the Hornies will show up.
That was in part 3 of book 4.
Yeah. Still waiting for the physical spren to become a
That'll
thing.
happen, I think. Something like that is gonna happen with
We really need that.
Seth.
We need to meet. What's his name? We need to meet Ishar.
Sure.
he's going to help Seal come to the physical version of herself, and that's how her and Kaladin are gonna fall in love.
Probably.
He's gonna make her Chol head real.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. But yeah, cool fight.
I hope
Moash
Kaladin's
is
not allergic to
murking.
shellfish.
Well, we know he's not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I
like
think
all
anyone
we-
would die on that planet. They
Yeah.
were. It's raining. You're dying. I'm sorry.
But yeah, Moash is collecting a good amount of Bridge 4 skulls. Let's see if he can whittle
Yes,
them
he
down
is.
to where there's only 4 members of Bridge 4 still alive.
Dude,
We'll
he
see.
should make a necklace.
He should.
I like what they're doing with. I like Moash more now that he's like full of passion and full of. I also like the trap they set where it's like, all right, there's like this bubble where no one can use any form of Stormlight or Investiture, but it does not affect my Honor Blade.
Yeah, for some reason.
Like, how are you going to kill him? That's book one set when no one's ready for it, you know? Like, how are you going to kill him?
Kaladin could.
Well, yeah, but Kaladin's also the main character. The main character also always wins. That's why they couldn't have Kaladin there.
Did you have something about the Honor Blades you want to say? Or is it later?
It's later. I mean, there's not a real great place here for it, I don't
You
think.
want to save it for the chapter where we go back? Because that's a very short chapter where he wins the Honor Blade.
Yeah, let's
Sure.
talk about it when we get to Seth.
Because that's a very short chapter.
82 the primary purpose of science. All right, what happens in this one? Navani, we get some Navani, we get some Adolin, we get some Zarb. That's everybody.
Yep.
All right, so we get Navani. She is in Irithiru. She's wondering why Tower is not working. She's still in the past. She gets some she connects with the sibling, so she can talk to present day sibling. And then yeah, we get some stuff about how there was infighting among the Radiants, which we've seen. And then we get that Maleshi started to develop kind of modern day fabrials. Ooh. And then she's like, "Hey, follow Gareth to learn more about the Recreants." And yeah, they're gonna go. They're gonna go follow him basically. And then they kind of figure out how to like warp between people, but like if you have a connection to them, you can like warp between them. So it's like, oh, you have a daughter, I have a daughter, so they're kind of more able to do stuff. Yep, it's kind of that. Adolin, let's see, they're fighting the Thunderclass. His little like chain thing doesn't really work. He almost gets squashed a bunch of times. But then well, I don't think Zar or Nesham dies this one, but yeah, he's there. They're trying to fight it basically. Yeah, and the heavenly ones are coming. It's all bad. We get Kushcam, and they're fighting. He gets healed again because he's almost died by that girl that Mayaldar has with her. And yeah, he sends the order to drop the firebombs because they're losing the dome and everything's going bad. And then we go back to Aelin. They're fighting him and Nezaham. It's not going good, and Nezaham gets murked.
Smashed. Dude, I really liked the sorry, the artwork of the Thunderclass. Like I would hang
Yeah.
it on the wall. Now what the book didn't do, the book just like it showed all three and it put the names there, but it didn't tell you which one was which and which one he was fighting. But the audiobook actually kind of read off, told you which one was which. I still don't know. I think the top left one was the one he was fighting here.
Okay.
It had really long arms.
Yeah, because I think
It
the
was top
one,
left. It wasn't the bottom one.
the bottom one is the one that Sigil killed in the Shattered Plains
Yeah.
that broke through the Narak 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the top left one, that face looks more like a Axehound face because it was described as having a face that resembled an Axehound.
Yeah.
But let's see.
But the top left one reminds me of an Evangelion. I don't know why, but it does.
It does, and I haven't even watched that show. So
I can see it.
I mean, that's fine. It's a good show. I mean, I'm all about it. It's probably his mother.
so how
Spoilers, Chris.
all right, so there's something I want to talk about in this chapter.
Okay.
And it came up so much because I wrote down I write down all the names of characters or people that do something important. Like I'm like, hey, this person did something important, but we didn't get a name of this person. So I wrote down Edge Dancer in a green dress. How reliable? So look, we know this Edge Dancer, or we know this lady in the green dress was healing people. Zarb saw her healing people. How much does Zarb know about the different orders of radiance? And the reason why I ask this is because Prala is the herald of the Truth Watchers, and she is depicted is wearing a green dress, like in whenever her picture is in the books here, like in the covers, inside covers.
Yeah.
And she is Truth Watcher, and they can also heal. So maybe Prala has shown up
So
finally.
she's Rahel.
Was that Rahel
That's the
in the green dress?
yeah. That's the only one that they only have one healer.
Okay.
That's the one that
Well,
Mayaldar brought.
okay. Well, if May Allen, okay, then
I
I
mean,
would trust.
it still could be.
It could be the fact that there's another herald there unknown. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
But if May Aladar is like, yeah, this is an edge dancer, I would trust her as being reliable in that knowledge,
Yeah,
and
'cause
it would not be Prala. I don't think Prala would be pretending to be an edge dancer.
Yeah, I mean, I forget when they introduced her, but she was like,
she wasn't
"Yeah,
an edge
I
dancer.
have."
She was the Nels
Yeah,
or Tooth Watcher. It's the one that Maya had.
Oh, Rahel is a truth watcher, but
yeah,
there
it's the
was an
only
edge dancer in a green dress.
Yeah.
at the Adolin fight.
The Zarb fight. When Zarb was like, he was looking around. Let's see here. This
And
is
he's like, protect her and get her a helmet.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Rahel. They only have one raid that heals.
but he said it was. Didn't he say?
I don't know.
Do you have that open?
Um, no.
Hold on.
Because I mean, I literally just kind of read that, like, get her a helmet for crying. Where, why am I having trouble finding this?
Oh, it just says young Alethi healer. Stormlight glowing from her. She wore a dress in the middle of this chaos, bright green.
Yeah,
Okay, so it
I
doesn't
think
say
that's
it's
a
an edge
scribe.
dancer. It doesn't say it's an edge dancer, but we know that May Aladar did bring a truth watcher, Rahel.
Yeah, which could be
So
the Herald.
truth watcher, green dress. Maybe it's the Herald.
Yeah.
Is she a Lethe looking though?
She has black hair. I mean, look her up.
I ain't Googling nobody. Not until I
Here.
finish this book.
This
And
is
even then I'll be
spoiler.
scared there's somehow get spoilers.
This is spoiler free.
Hmm. I mean, I'm actually fine with the idea that there's another Herald though, because I like the idea that the Heralds are actually doing something.
I mean, probably looks. I mean, sure.
So
I mean, I'm fine with it being canon until it's not. You know what I mean?
yeah, I just thought of it. I was like, hey, that sounds cool. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was they were the same person. Like there was just one. They so far as I only know, they only have one radiant at Azamar, and it's her.
yeah, I wrote down Edge Dancer because I was like, oh, healer, Edge Dancer.
Yeah. All right, we can move on. 83 hired blade. We get a little bit of Seth flashback. 9.5 years ago. We pick up. He's already murked Tuco, so rip Tuco. He's now completed his pilgrimage, and he's gonna get his Win Dancer sword. Win Runner sword. And they're like, "Hey, it was good you murked that guy because he was talking to revolution. He was a dirty rebel." And they're like, he's like, "But that's kind of bad that you used me." And he's like, "Yeah, but whatever. You're gonna have to go and do the rest of your stuff, and then you're gonna meet the voice. Dun-dun-dun. You're gonna go to Ayabaza
Ayabiza.
Pizza, sure.
Yeah.
The
Island of Pizza.
Yes, and they're gonna learn the truth that Voidbringers are here, and I become Trueless. So yeah, cool.
All right, so I think so later on I do believe it mentions that each of the honor blades, I mean, is a piece of honor. So I think his second pilgrimage that he's doing right now, somehow he's going to have to collect the Windrunner blade, and they're all going to have to be forged into one to like rebirth honor, maybe, or something like that. Um, but also, every present day event from Seth is apparently all part of the Voice's plan from back in the day. Um, and we still don't know who the voice is. And I put down here is like, what if the voice is actually cultivation? It would be interesting, but
I mean, we know Seth thinks it's an unmade.
I just got an idea that fits with a theory that I was waiting to say later.
Yeah.
and it
What if
looked
it's
like it
by
was something I
Mistrum?
said that sparked it.
It put it together. What if it's by Mistrum?
What if honor is by Ado
No, no,
Mishram?
no. The voice trying to get like. But what? No, I have a theory that Bide and Mistrum is going to take up the Shard of Honor, and that Relaine and Renard's relationship is going to help convince her that as doing so, she's not just going to protect the Parshendi, but she's going to protect humans as well.
But here's the problem I have with that. Just knowing that the shards can't directly um, fight each other.
Hmm.
So that may be true, but it would have to come after Baedo Mishram kills like the shard of like not shard of honor, shard Odium. Like
Who
she
says that Odium
has
gets
to
killed?
defeat Odium, and then she could take up the shard of honor. There would no longer be that. But I think this
I think she might just take it on and not have anything to do with destroying Odium. Like she just might assume that role and then like grant Delinar some knowledge or something, and his knowledge just allows him to stop Odium, not defeat Odium, but stop Odium from doing something. That makes sense. Where it doesn't end with Odium destroyed, but just contained.
I mean, we could do the Mistborn and have her get both shards and become like
I the,
Harmony or
I was
something.
gonna
We already
say
have Harmony,
I
but
really think it ends with somebody holding both shards and eventually all three shards.
Eh,
I don't think the voice can be bottom Mishram because she's in prison, so that breaks all
like it,
canon.
it just made me think like maybe somehow her prison has something to do. Like, because her
What?
prison isn't just a prison that contains her, but she might have some pinnacles out there and some way to connect to certain people depending on certain things. And that's how she was able to connect to
But
Seth.
she
Like
also hates humans. So I don't know.
Chase most humans. I don't know. It's just an idea I had. Like
It may maybe.
it would definitely tie it together if at the end he finally finds it and you find out, oh my God, this voice all along was by Ida Mistrum and she's trying to get him to do something and somehow something they're doing there gets her prison released and then or gets it visible into the spirit realm and basically what they're doing also helps out with the spiritual realm shit. It ties it together somehow.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
then it's not
So
two separate stories, but it's actually working towards one.
so this kind of feeds in a little bit with Chris. I think you have some weight there with the voice might being Mishram.
Might be, but
So look, I wrote down Tuco's death rattle. It says, I climb the wall of grief toward the light, locked away above. I climb the weight of my darkened twin on my back and seek the captive. The light I love, I storms the light I love. Um, well, he goes up. They typically describe the spiritual realm as being full of light, locked away above the captive. Mishram's locked and captive in the spiritual realm. Um, I don't know if Tuco loved a singer at any point.
Um,
Um,
have no contact with them. I don't think there's any
And we've
partiality.
already established the death rattles might not be even you're seeing.
Yeah,
You know, like you might be living your life in someone else's eyes.
true.
they're just kind of like random phrases. That's why what's his face was killing a bunch of people to get a bunch of
Hmm.
you
So
know.
yeah. So that's my theory. I was gonna save it for a little bit, but that's my theory, and that's why Renarin and Relane's relationship has to happen, is
It
because
did,
that's gonna be used as some of the reasoning that as she gains power, as she gains the power, she doesn't just give favor to the Parshendi, but she decides to help both.
sure.
It fits. Anyway, all right.
Chapter. Oh God. Oh.
But I could see the Oath Blades, like, getting all of them to do something with that. Like maybe that's how they unlock it, is you get all the Oath Blades together and like putting them together like breaks in.
Yeah. For the broken, get some Adolin, we get some Ash, we get some Renarin. Okay, Aelin's he's like messed up from the Thunderclass, and Hamask is still alive because he's unkillable. And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go mess this thing up." And then he starts riding towards it. It's like, "Ah, I gotta save all the people. I gotta be a hero." Um, and then we get Ash, and
Hero.
yep, Ash is with Talonit, and like the sick word or whatever, and then we
Oh,
get
Bonnie Tyler. Holding up.
Abadai, and he's like, kill all the wounded, demoralize them, and she's like, you done fucked up. He's gonna become, and he starts fighting stuff. Pretty cool. Uh,
Dude, this honestly, not honestly. I was reading this chapter in the kitchen, and like Jules and Chrissy were out there, and when I got to the end, there where it was like, and after 4,000 years, the bearer of agonies fought back, and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and my wife just looked at me like, yeah. I was like,
Got excited too.
yeah. And I was just like, and when he stood, and when he walked forward, it was just like the window shattered with the vacuum of the air that he left behind. I was like,
it does present a little thing of I don't know how the humans ever lost, which I guess they didn't. If like they had 12 of these guys, like how did they lose? How did they ever kill any of these dudes? Because they have shard blade, shard plate. I guess maybe the fused were more powerful back in the day, but they're both as insane. So I don't know, but it was cool. Hopefully it'll just boot back into the real world and we can have it for the final fight. Then we get some Adolin. Adolin basically like goes on the building, jumps off, gets into the Thunder class, and kills it. Pretty cool stuff. Then it falls back and kills Adolin. So rip Adolin. Adolin is dead. Um, and then we get some Renarin. He's in the spiritual realm. What are they doing? They're doing some stained glass stuff.
You get the relationship growth there.
Yeah,
That's where they kind of are breaking down each other's wall or breaking down their own walls, letting each other past.
yeah,
But my God, like I said it at the beginning of it, but this is a perfect example of like literally think about it. It's like the first page and a half is Adolin beat the hell up, but he's still gonna go fight this giant thing. And the next little like page is the freaking Herald saying like, okay, you wanted this, you're getting this, and like it's about to go off. Then you find Aelin actually kills it and it falls on top of him. You're like, oh my God, what happened? And then it's like 5 pages or 6 pages of relationship growth, which is fine, but
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a battle. I've been waiting. We've all been, like you just said, you got so excited. We've been waiting to see what the heralds can actually do when they do something. And now Aelin just defeated
And
a
we didn't
giant
even
monster
get
and
to
is
see it
falling on
on
top of them.
page.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. It's cute, it's cute. God, why didn't you do this earlier? Just, I don't need it now.
Because he was making Renarin seem mysterious instead of just kind of like
They could have easily put this in the last
a
book.
soft
It
boy.
would have had,
I don't
and they could
think he
have
knew it back then.
Hmm?
I don't
hmm,
think he knew this relationship was gonna
I
be a
know.
thing back then.
That's
Man,
another thing that bothers me,
I,
but I'm not going
I
to get into
I
that.
have a feeling Renarin was way different and more interesting. Renarin's fine. I feel like what he was setting up for him and the other stuff was way more like dark and like mysterious than what he is
Yeah,
now.
no, he was definitely more of a, I'm
Like
not entirely sure
like
we
a
can trust him.
yeah, like a dark mage or
To
something.
now, like he's like, oh, he's just a sensitive soul.
Just a little sensitive, sad gay boy, which is fine. But it is way different than what he.
Uh,
That's
all
what
right,
he is.
guys, we're canceled.
That's not cancelable. That's what he is,
You
and he's
just called him a sensitive, sad little gay boy.
that's what he is, and it's fine. He's a
That's
cool
sad, but
character. He's a little sad. He's like was bullied, and he's like he's
he's just
getting over it.
sensitive.
He's like Kaladin kind of, but not nearly as messed up. And it's fine. He just is different than what I felt like he was being set up to do in the first couple of books, which is cool. And yeah, their relationship is going to be very important. The relationship was cute. I kind of wish Verlaine was, like you said, a little bit more of a character in like books 2 and 3.
No. I actually
And
really,
4, probably.
so y'all know Tony. I have a friend Tony who I was going over. He never read Stormlight, but he's watched a lot of things, very familiar with classic tropes and that kind of stuff. So I was talking about this relationship. And when I was describing the characters to him, I actually realized, like as I was describing the characters, I love Verlaine. I
It's
really
a
like
good
the idea.
character.
I like
He's
the
fine.
because he straight up is like, I'm choosing the humans. They were good to me. And even like adding in this thing where he might never have actually fit in with the Parshmans, that's even kind of cooler. And it actually makes the character like, but it just hits my head against the wall. It's like if you should have started this earlier.
Yeah. Verlaine was kind of like what he would like a foil to what he was trying to do with Moash until he just killed Moash's character. Where Moash was like the human that was abused by his people and chose the singers, right? And that was really interesting in books 2 and 3 until it fell off the rails. Where Verlaine is like the opposite, where he's like he realizes that his dark gods or whatever. So
But he's
yeah,
also never like,
any man is my friend, and also like Calvin's really cool, and like I have a place among these people. So yeah, he's cool.
yeah,
He just
there's
kind
another
of
thing about him, like the average human still treats him badly, but he still stays around because like he knows that
yeah,
like there's that little like hidden thing, I don't know.
yeah. I mean they're cool. I do agree that they probably should have started setting up the relationship more in book 4.
Yeah, did they ever talk to each other?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they
Like
were they were in
they
Bridge 4
talk.
together and they might have
They,
had passing things, but did they ever have one-on-one
I'm pretty
conversations?
sure they talked
Not
about being
really.
outcasts.
Like they had like a little bit of a thing, but like it wasn't that much. Also, we didn't really get much for Naran POV or Verlaine POV, so it is just like he thought of this storyline and then kind of a little bit. A lot of the relationships kind of feel like a little bit like Wheel of Time to me, and the relationships from Wheel of Time are terrible. It's like the worst thing about that book. Is it like basically most of them are like plot contrivances, and they're also like, hey, we're now in a relationship. This is basically like, hey, we're now in a relationship. We don't really need to do the work for it. It's basically like, boom, we're now in a relationship, which is fine. These books don't really need to be longer, or I don't really need the romance stuff, but like this and the Wheel of Time is probably their worst thing. Because like some of the relationships are really good. Like the Dalinar and Navani relationship is really good. The Aelin and Shallan relationship is really good. The maybe Cal Silk relationship, we shall see. But
They
this
did have the
one,
dance.
this one is a little like this one reminds me of like
I-
Lan, Nynaeve, or like they're like Nynaeve is now in love with Lan. You're like, okay, cool. I mean, it's set up a little bit better than that, but
It's the characters themselves, I feel, fit together really
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
it's a ship that if someone was like, oh, like, fans were fanficking and they shipped them together, it'd be like, oh, that's a cool fit. Yeah, I could see that. But as the author, if you want that to happen, you need to at least lay some groundwork early on.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't know.
I'm actually kind of fine with it because it's not the main point of
It's
these
going to become the
novels.
main plot point, and it just like when I was re-listening to it and I got to this chapter, I was like, I got to, I'm there like doing dishes, listening, and it got back to he's like, yeah, and then the Bearer of Agony stood up and like fought back, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember this, and it's like, oh shit, Adolin's about to, and I knew that was coming up, and then it was like, and it fell in Adolin, I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's consume like what's about to happen. We're gonna find out what happened afterwards to Adolin, but I was just like, and then the Renarin stuff started. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time I finish dishes, Adolin
What
will be back home.
So,
what they should have done is have them, instead of them in their past or whatever, have them be like shunted forward where they're like the kings of like the Shattered Plains or something, and like their inner relationship. And we get to see some like we get to see character development because it's happened, and we get to like it's
It's
already
already happened.
established.
Now we're seeing
But
the
they are learning
development.
about their relationships and stuff, and it's like weird way like, oh shit, I guess we might be destined to be together or whatever. And it's all interesting.
that'd be interesting. So
I
I
I'd
have
be
a
down for that.
I have a few things to
Justin, write up
say.
the fanfic.
All right.
Sorry.
I have a few things to say. We can move on to chapter 85. Um, I did like the quote, the way Brandon kind of described this between Renarin, or rather, Relane's reaction is that he looked to Renarin and hummed to anxiety, but while smiling. That combination, Renarin thought, he's blushing. It was just a fun way, like he Brandon had to put thought into how would I use facial features and a rhythm to describe blushing, but there's no like physical characteristics on the
Yeah.
singers for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
So
getting
that
more of
it's a nice detail.
Yeah.
we're getting more of them learning the rhythms. We got, Renarin's learning them,
But
Navai's
Gliss
learning
is
them.
like, I help. I like that Renarin's like, man, I'm getting better at picking up these rhythms, and Gliss is like, I help.
Yeah. So eventually, probably there's going to be like a merging of peoples, and it's going to be like the end of Mass Effect or something, which is going to be fun.
They're
All
gonna
right.
find out that Renarin and Relane can actually have children together as two dudes.
Sure. I've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger have a baby, so
Yeah.
If Arnie's having babies.
if Arnie's having babies, anyone can.
Oh,
Uh,
and then the last thing, which was fun, is when Gliss was like, Shallan's outside and she's acting weird. Like she might be sick. She's making weird noises and jumping up and down. Renarin's like, oh no, she's just excited.
yeah. It would have been funny if you looked over, she was excited, and just Formless is sitting there like, no, how dare you? I judge because I'm formless. But anyway, we get Parlay, chapter 85. We get some Adolin and we get some Dalinar. So Adolin, surprisingly, is not dead. He's just missing a leg. He
Part of
was
a
he
leg.
Yes. He was healed by MVP May Aladar's ward. So another point for May Aladar, the best character in the books. Then they're like, all right, help me up. I'm gonna go fight still. And they stumble upon like hundreds of dead people, dead fused and all this stuff. And they find Talanet and Ash dead.
I love the description of Talanat, like his body on his corpse on the top of a pile of fused with dozens of spears or lances holding him propped up, his head
Right.
back, and just the crushed skull of a fused in his hand. I was like, holy fuck.
This does mean that fused can no longer go back from Braze because heralds are now there. So that's cool. Or they might just boot back, who knows? But yeah. Yeah, this is we skipped it, but this is one of the I think last chapter was when Ash was like she was like a sibling I never had or something. It was very weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. Maybe that's a weird slight retcon because I'm pretty sure they were established as lovers, but whatever. It just made me go home. Then we get Dalinar. They're meeting with peace talks. We get Ba Odom. They're like, yeah, they're he transports into Gareth. And then he gets a good make out session. And yeah, they're meeting the enemy. They are traitors. That
I really was laughing when Dalinar jumped into Garrett's body.
And there's that. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I got a kiss. What? Navani, turn away. Don't look.
yeah.
Even before that, I don't think he truly meant to switch into it because he was just like, I want to see what's going on there. I want to be close. Oh God, I'm in the center. I don't know what to say. I was trying to learn what he was saying. I wanted to
Yeah.
see what he was doing, not be him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just, uh, yeah. I'm
Oh yeah, it does. Sorry, I looked up the other chapter. It was like so strange to hold his hand again. The man she'd come to see over the centuries as the sibling she'd never had.
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think they were lovers.
But I thought she said they were lovers. I
Justin, find that.
I might have to find it. I
You
really
read the
thought
other
that they
books,
were
find that, bring it up next time.
It
Anyone listening, put it in the
it would have
comments.
been in book 3, right? It would have been in book 3 when they were going through Thalen City.
Yeah, because they were there.
That feels like it's the
Yeah.
only point where
she like sees him again and she's like, yeah. I'll have to look into it because I really thought that they were lovers. Or at least it was heavily implied that it wasn't.
I thought it was heavily implied as well.
Yeah. But yeah. We're gonna get to see the start of the records pretty soon. 86. We get some Kaladin. We finally get some Kaladin. We get some Shallan. Let's see. Kaladin's practicing with his like flute. He's getting a little bit better at it.
We finally learned the name of Sprin Nimi, and
Yeah.
it's not any better.
It's a bunch of letters or numbers.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Hey, words are just a bunch of letters.
12, 12, 4. Yeah.
That's racist.
That was funny.
So you're like, that's kind of racist. Kaladin's getting canceled.
Yeah. He tells some more
So you're like
stories.
cryptics.
Tells a story about the Goshal
Goshal?
guy that like became a slave because he killed his superiors because they were gonna burn down a a village. And then let's see. He also is like, yeah, I'm not gonna be back in time, which we already knew. Yeah, then we get his
He would. So Kaladin really wanted to chase after Seth as well after the little therapy session, but he decides not to.
yeah, then he
Uh,
gives therapy to the Spren because the High Spren is
1-2-1-2-4
yeah. Is
and
he's
nails.
kind of just complaining and being like a terrible Spren, just kind of sucks. Um
He
and
does mention something about the dissenters.
yeah.
Now, do you think this is so Kaladin? What Kaladin wouldn't know what the dissenters are because he wasn't in Shadesmar. Adolin was. If the dissenters are in fact those that didn't want to come and help and bond, right?
Yeah, I mean probably.
Or were they the
Or
ones that thought that humans were in the wrong?
Or that.
yeah. Then we get like the winds like, hey, you should help now. But hurry up, you got like 2 days before the world ends. And that is Callan's gonna become the champion. I mean, it doesn't say it, but we can infer that. Um and they're gonna go they're gonna continue on their pilgrimage.
Oh my God, you know what's gonna happen?
What?
Somehow, with the fight with the final Herald, the Bondsmith one, the one
Ishar.
that was the one from the last book, the one that was raid, the one that
Ishar.
Mishar, yeah. So when Seth's fighting him, there's gonna be a moment where like they're trying to break through and get to him, but he's so messed up that it's just not connecting. And Calvin's gonna accept something and he's gonna get his fifth ideal and and remember they said people saying words and gaining ideals gives moments of clarity. That moment of clarity is gonna allow whatever's gonna happen to let Zeth win because and it's not gonna win through a murder or a death. It's gonna win through some like understanding and bond now that his mind's clear because Kaladin ascended. That's how Kaladin's gonna do it.
Hey,
I
yeah.
Just a
I
theory
I
out there,
think
but
I think that would be enough. Like a fifth ideal, a fifth oath would be
would be
strong
strong
enough
enough.
to that. Yeah,
And it would fit with Kaladin's character because Kaladin's not about killing. Kaladin doesn't want to kill. Seth doesn't want to kill. This allows another path, and it fits together. And they kept talking about how maybe a strong bond, or
I like that. I mean, I like the idea of like, in this, Kaladin was like, well, maybe we don't have to kill. Maybe
yeah,
there is another way, and maybe that's the way. That sounds.
Yeah, it's either Seth gets the fifth ideal, and probably one of them is gonna,
one of them's gonna go, one of them's gonna go fifth.
or both.
Well,
They're gonna do it together.
so Seth is what, the third ideal right now? To get the fourth ideal, he has to
He has
finish
to
his
finish his
crusade.
cleansing.
So,
Yeah, you can't get the fifth to solve the fourth.
right. So it would be
Good, I guess.
Kaladin gaining the fifth, which would which would connect Seth to Ishar, which would complete Seth's uh crusade and get
So he would
Seth
get his
the
fourth.
fourth.
But at the fourth, I do believe Zeth at the point could establish how he wants to think, which is the fifth, basically. Like, what are you going to follow? You are the
I
law.
could I could see that going that quickly.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
double levels.
Yeah. And then we get some Shalon. They're like they are gonna go find the prison, and they're gonna like basically zap into the vision.
Yeah. No, that's all I got on that. It's like, yeah, let's go look in the vision. Ghost Bloods will be there. Do it anyway.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Final chapter. love and betrayal. We get Dalinar. He's getting kissed by Shimon.
Shimon.
Shimon. And like we learn that they're in a relationship and that they're looking to maybe have a brief peace treaty, hopefully. Then Bowden Mishran comes, she's like, maybe we'll have a little bit of peace. And then Maleshi comes and is like, what's up? Get put in this crystal. And Honor's like, what's up? I put you in the crystal, and now I'm probably gonna die because I broke a little bit of oaths, but it was worth it. And like, boom. That's kind of the recreance.
This Honor's decision here makes zero fucking sense to me.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I have to trust that Brandon Sanderson has something in
I mean, he
mind.
basically in one fell swoop won the war, so it makes a little sense.
But it wasn't the real war.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, he knew he wasn't facing Odium.
But he also knew he was dying, right? So he's giving humans time.
He didn't know he was dying. When...
He's like stopped communicating with all the humans and stuff.
Yeah, because he's like, if y'all keep this up, I don't want y'all destroying another world. So y'all just do y'all shit. Like, I'm done with this. I'm a god. Bye. Just solve it.
I felt like he was dying for a long time. That's why he was growing distant. That's just my interpretation of it.
No, I don't think he was dying. He just was like done.
Yeah.
I think they die through, I don't think they die, but I do think like excess strain does wear it. From what I see, the more a shard strains and does stuff, the more it drains on them at that time. Like the more active they are. Like the ones who are more inactive, like the one in Warbreaker or whatnot, doesn't phase, doesn't age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like Odium's doing a lot of shits, a lot of wear and tear. It fucking gets through to him. What's it? The Ray? What's
Race.
Grace? Yeah.
So you're
Race.
talking about the vessel gets the
The vessel gets strained. Till I'm saying like if you very active in a short amount of time, that's a lot of strain on the vessel. I don't think I think of like if you do a little bit and then you like relax for a while, everything's fine and cool. That's what it feels like to me from everything I've read on the vessels.
Yeah. I will say I don't really understand how this calls the recreants.
Yeah.
I could see how
either.
I could see how it
You
can
know?
it cause a split in the Knights Radiant, but I don't see how it caused the recreants.
Well, I mean, so I think what he's implying here, the vision that happened, it went out to every single Radiant, and they got a vision of the world burning and everybody dying.
Yeah, but we also know that's false because our guys have been using.
They got the
Power.
vision of it.
Yeah, but I don't understand that vision.
Well, we're gonna get it in the next day.
Yeah. They were
Like,
afraid that their surges were going to cause the world to burn, so they gave
We
it
don't
up.
know exactly 100% what caused the Requiants. It could be that they were scared that they were going to burn the world. It could be the fact that they heard that they weren't, the original inhabitants. It could be Honor being dead. It could be this.
I
We don't
also
know
don't understand
going
why.
to.
I also don't
I'm not too
understand
worried
why
about
they
that.
would care that they weren't the original inhabitants of the
I don't
planet.
understand either.
I know, but that was brought up as a possible reason I've heard once.
I also don't understand how they've been fighting for thousands of years, and nobody's like
Just genocided the other one.
won in a genocide or like complete subjugation or
We kind of did
anything.
at the end.
Sure, but it should be before that.
Yeah.
Because like I don't understand why so a desolation is when odium is in the world and the fused can like refuse into people and the heralds are back. That's a desolation, right?
Yeah.
And then when the heralds all die, the fused are separated from the world.
Yeah, the
And
heralds train
Odium
all the radiants, and then they're like, all right, now that you're good and you can fight this, we're gonna disappear and hold the fuse back so they don't come back and you clean up this mess.
yeah, so then the Knights Radiants win, and we know that they win each desolation
Yeah.
because otherwise
They wouldn't.
humans would be dead, and it would
Yeah.
be the exact opposite of in present day. So it is a little weird, and I could see it be like honor stopped them from doing it, or the heralds did, or whatever. But don't see how there could be like hundreds of desolations, or however many there were. At least it's a little strange. It's the one little plot thing. I can just palate it, but it is kind of funny to think about.
All right, something I don't want to hand wave that I just thought of. So
Yeah.
I just realized this chapter backs my theory that Bada Mistrum is going to take up the place of honor. So they imply in the book that the reason that Odium fears Bada Mistrum so much is that she could take his place. But here indicates that honor was scared of her and wanted her trapped in a way. And Odium doesn't want to release her because he knows that she could take honor's place.
Sure. Wish we knew what Bada Mistrum even was. I mean, I hope we'll get that next thing.
But
I hope there's no-
I also think we haven't had enough of her for it to truly be foreseeable that she would take up that shard.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
no. The beauty of the fact that both races can find true harmony in each other, indicated by Rlain and Renarin, is the reason that she will accept it.
He's pretty pissed off. I think that it's going to turn
saying,
out
like,
that Bada
They're going to use
Mistrum.
that to.
I think it's going to turn out that Bada Mistrum and all of the Unmade are like the spirit of Roshar. Like they're the Roshar. They're like the actual gods before the thing, because they're not like Sprint or whatever, right? They're like, I think that's what it's going to be. That's why she could like take on
No, I
the
think it
forms
said they
stuff.
were Spren.
Yeah, but I don't
It,
think
it
I don't think
said
that's
they were
really-
Spren, but just because it said they're Spren, that might be unreliable information.
Yeah, I think there's something more than what they actually are. So it's gonna turn out like she's like fucking soul of the listeners or whatever. And that's why she has all the bond on there.
Well, I also think that they were something before they were unmade.
Yeah,
Were they a shard that got splintered, and they're the splinters?
maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, that they're unmade, and when they go think about the different aspects each unmade shows,
Yeah,
when they are remade, are they now back to one shard, to one element?
yeah. But yeah. So hopefully I get more on the Requiem and all that fun stuff for next time on Dragon Ball Z.
We got. Did you didn't summarize the Renarin section?
I mean,
Basically, it's
kind
the
of
same
stuff.
thing, but Gliss revealed that the other unmade were sitting around watching this event happen.
Yeah.
And Odium also finds Shallan and the rats in the wall.
Yes. Yep.
Maybe think of Bruno.
Yeah. So they're all dead because Odium's gonna kill them all. So rip all of our people because they're just beat.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I'm curious what else is gonna be there, considering Odium's now in charge of the visions. I guess that also kind of confirms that Odium did not know that Dalinar was in the spiritual realm last time. It was more metaphorical. Yeah, we'll have to see. Then we get a really good interlude. Finally, we get a little
And a really short interlude.
and a really short one. We get a little bit of Lift being a queen. I don't know why they bother with this, because she's not fooling anybody. So obviously everybody knows that Navani is not around and somebody's like leaving her. Because she's like, I'm gonna make 17 holidays and do all sorts of great. So like I don't know how anybody realizes that. But anyway, and then the sibling is like, hey, I found your parent. And they heard voices of a children thing, and they go and she goes and finds the parrot, and Zyle tied up. Then we have a cool fight with Axendweth, who is confirmed to be a terrorist woman. So I don't know. It should have just been focused on, restarting their own culture instead of dicking around on other planets. So she's a bad keeper.
Never
She
said
might
she
not have been a keeper.
never said she was a keeper.
True. Then we
Me
learned
and
that
Brandon were both on that, like right away.
I know. I was
Do you
making,
like that she was protected by two thugs?
yeah. Then it turns out that Lift, the reason she's so tripping so much is she's too powerful. Dun dun dun. And she's gonna get trained by Zyle. Huzzah. We'll see what happens with that in like 6
See,
books from now.
it didn't say that she killed Axendweth, though. It didn't actually say what happened to Axendweth other than her ankles broke and she face planted on the ground.
Yeah. I actually didn't assume she didn't kill her. She just like,
Yeah,
lies her.
Yeah, she's not dead.
That doesn't kill people. It's not her MO.
she has health minds.
Yeah.
She can
She'll be
wait.
fine.
Yeah, so yeah, Zyle got
Axon Wells will be fine. She'll be. She probably already escaped.
I want to know why she's on the planet, but
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, she's working with the Ghost Bloods. Okay. Wendell has become Lift's ride or die. Like he doesn't question her, she doesn't question him. They are so in sync.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
Yeah, this chapter made me hope that she's one of the main characters in the next arc of the book.
and
So I don't.
she essentially gains an AVR, which I was talking to not Chris, Justin before. This is from
He doesn't talk to me.
huh?
Huh?
Oh yeah, I don't talk to you. It's from Sixth of Dusk. And so no spoilers from it, but the AVRs are from that book. You see them at the beginning of the story. It's not really even a book, it's a short story. You can read it in under 2 hours if you are even at average reading speed. They are invested birds that grant bond to people and grant powers from a different planet.
Yeah. Did we know that edge dancers could create like a sticky field before? Or is that new?
No, we know that she can increase or decrease friction.
Yeah, but we've never seen her use decreased friction. We know she can, but we've never
No,
seen her
we've
use it.
seen her decrease friction. She slides all over the place.
I mean, sorry,
We've
increased
never seen
friction.
her
We don't
increase it
increase
until
friction.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great where she was
I
like,
was thinking increased viscosity and decreased viscosity. That was
yeah.
my bad. Because she slides, which is
Yeah.
friction too, I guess.
So we'll see what happens with this in about 7 years when
There's
she shows
friction
back up.
stuff.
Then like Teravangian's like, hey, I'm gonna break down arm, and that's kind of
Yeah, he's gonna break down R. But before that, Lift is gonna be with Zyle. Zyle is a planet hopper. I feel like we
What's
might
the
see
planet
her in some new book and some interlude that takes place like 200 years from now on some other planet.
she's not immortal.
She's with fucking Zyle. She's gonna become immortal. You know, the first place they're stopping is to get breaths. Like,
when did Demu become immortal?
yeah,
About to
Demu's
say
fucking
immortal.
immortal. If Demu's immortal.
I don't know
Fucking
if Demu's
Demu.
immortal. I don't know that he's immortal.
This is
No,
hundreds of years after
How do
this.
we know that?
Because it's Demu. What do you mean?
How do we know the timeline? I don't.
Ah.
Well, then
Anyway.
Demu's probably a fucking con.
Don't you think Lift's gonna become immortal if she's planet
I
hopping?
don't care. Honestly.
All the planet hoppers
don't
are
care.
immortal, it seems.
All right.
I like that she's gonna become a planet hopper. She's a great planet hopping character. I fucking love it. She'll
Is
get
she?
by on any planet. I want to see her interact. I want to see her interact and go talk to like the new God King. You know, met with all the colors and shit.
One last theory I thought of as a possibility, not as a for sure thing that I truly believe, although I kind of believe it. Um, I think for some reason that when Maya comes back with all the others, that Azure is going to come back as well. And so you're going to have Azure in Azimir. So if Azure comes back to Azimir, you're not going to need Yasna to go there.
That's correct.
Does Azure have? Ah, okay,
Yeah.
sure. She can make the
She has breaths,
perpendicularity. She can
huh?
make the perpendicularity.
No, but
Okay, then.
she might convince the Oathgate Spren to let her through, or she might have already been through.
And like she's like a god, Justin.
Yeah,
Like she
everybody's a
can
fucking
take
god in
on
this
an
book.
army of like at least 100 fused.
It's getting a little ridiculous. Everybody's a goddamn god. It's kind of stupid.
Like,
It's,
but
it,
no, no,
it
she
is.
is like a. So she's been
I'm
Zael
sorry. I'm
is
sorry. My eyes are kind of
Just Justin,
rolling.
not
no.
everybody's a god. All the
Basically,
other million people that aren't named, those people aren't gods.
So Zael was basically a god, and she became his like
Apprentice, essentially.
apprentice, yeah, assistant. So, and then like hundreds of years later, she's there on another fucking planet hunting him down. So I'm assuming she's also now to god level.
yeah. Mm, sure.
So that's just she wasn't a god in the book,
Ah,
but
she wasn't that
she
powerful
should
in
be now.
I
Book of
also
Ruth.
think, did we discuss it? I think her sword is another awakened
Yeah,
sword.
yeah. We discussed, well, y'all discussed it. I wasn't on it, but yeah.
It was a shard blade. We didn't really have anybody pick up it, touch it, or whatever. Besides her,
Yeah, no, it's a
it was a weird. It was a, but it
what's
didn't
it
have a
called, Brandon?
spring,
It's a
so
type 4.
A type 4 invested entity?
Yeah, is that what it is?
I don't know. I think there was type 1 and type 2.
No, I thought there were up to 4 because it
Uh,
was like animate something that's been alive, animate something that has never been alive, change like 4 different versions of that.
yeah. I mean, we do know it wasn't an actual shard blade because it was in the
And
Chimera.
like one of them was never done.
Yeah,
But yeah.
these books are pretty ridiculous. But
But
we
like
do
no,
get
it
to.
they're
makes sense for
epic,
that character
Justin.
to
They're
Hmm?
not ridiculous. The word is epic.
They're starting to jump the shark smidge to me, just for me.
I would
But
say it does power creep.
it's power creep. But
Like
it's fine.
read
They're
like
gonna have power creep.
I was telling Justin about this because like I said earlier, I'm rereading book 1, and it is crazy how even the idea of a better sword is makes you so much more powerful. And then it's like, oh, you just have a regular shard blade. Oh, you're gonna die. Like, but before it's like, oh my God, they have a shard blade. Everybody in this room is going to get murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We have made it to day 8. We get some
Yes.
Sigil, some Downer, some Kaladin, some Vinley, some Yasna, some Seth, some Shallan, and some Adolin. So hopefully Vinley will actually like talk to somebody. That'll be cool. Hopefully they'll meet up. I have a feeling it kind of has to happen. Um, I guess with Sigil or maybe Yasna. Finley and Yasna would be cool with me.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And in the interludes, we get Risen and Odium.
yeah. Get to Risen. Risen's like, man, trade sucks. Good thing I want a boat. It's not very long in section.
No, it's not. But then the last two are like almost 200 pages each. So,
Yeah.
all right. So here's to day 8 being even better than day 7. Hopefully,
It's like 88 pages. It's crazy.
yeah, it's not that long. So, um, yeah. So this was very fun. I'm using a lot right now, and I usually don't. we will cover day 8 next week. If you made it this far, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, leave a like, follow, subscribe, share, rating, review, whatever, wherever you listen to. Engage us in comments and everything. We like to talk. If that's not evident, as this is what, episode 95 is it going to be? So 95, and then we've got 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is going to be episode 95. So yeah, we like to talk, and most of these are
We do.
hours long. So
And what people also don't know is like we talk to each other all throughout the week, and there are so many times where like we just read something, we're like, I just like save it. We gotta save it.
yeah, it's
I don't
like,
want to talk about
hey,
it now.
hey, did you read this? Silence.
It's just like save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast. Like that should be a t-shirt. Just save it for the podcast.
Save it for the podcast. Yeah, visit our sponsor, Mudcat Whiskers, www.mudcatwhiskers.com or Instagram at Mudcat Whiskers. Use code Paperweights at checkout to save yourself 15%. And that money, like I said at the beginning, helps Nick, the owner, supply his robotics class with extra stuff. All right, guys. Did I miss anything?
No, I think we're good.
No.
All right, let's see what the Harold Prala does. Oh shit. There's a picture on the next page. Is a magnified one.
Oh yeah, that was a cool picture.
It looks like he has. It's almost like he's got a Cthulhu type beard thing going on.
He does little tendrils.
Yeah.
Do not engage.
I loved. So I was actually sorry. I'm not done talking yet. I watched this interview with Brandon Sanderson on the Barnes and Noble podcast. It was like December 6th of last year. So right when this book came out. So he wasn't discussing spoilers or anything. But one of the cool things he talks about is, and I forgot what his inspiration was, but this idea of in-world things. It might have been Tolkien he was talking about, because like all the maps in Lord of the Rings or whatever in Hobbit, it's
Would be from their point of view.
that's the map they use to get around.
Yeah.
And in almost all of Sanderson's like books here, they're in-world artifacts. Like these flyers. These flyers are propaganda that are being passed around on the battlefields by the coalition. Like normal soldiers do not engage these things. Go fight a Radiant. Like
Yeah, I still think they don't quite fit the aesthetic for me.
I like it, Justin.
They're cool. I just don't think they work as
I like it. I noticed that first one, like I was looking at the pictures and there was like recovered from Shalon Devar's stuff at the bottom of the ocean. Stuff. And I was like, holy shit, these aren't just pictures, but these are the pictures Shalon is drawing.
but
Yeah.
also
That's so cool. Like
the map. There's been several maps. So a lot of any of the artifacts in these books that have writing on it, like the map that of Azamir, where it had the path of the Thunderclast and all the writing on it, where it was like cool pub, nice pub here, and it was like was a nice pub. And then all they got stopped on my way out of the city. Evidently, I hadn't filled out the proper forms for stealing a map. After 4 hours of mind-numbing paperwork and an exorbitant fee, they let me go, map in hand. No wonder there's so little crime here. All of that writing that's written on there, it's a character Naj. Chris has met Naj. Justin hasn't because he didn't read Secret History.
I am.
But Naj
yeah.
is a scholar that came from White Sand and is not a member of the IRE. I think is I think he belongs with the Silverlight Scholars.
Yeah, he wasn't the Ivory.
But I think he's with the Silverlight Scholars with Princess Chrysilla. who's also from White Sand, and Bayon's from White Sand. And then the watch that Dalinar has on his wrist from Wit, that's from Silverlight Mercantiles, which Silverlight's like this scholarly city um, in Shadesmar. Um, so yeah, that's some extra Cosmere stuff that if you haven't read other things, you might be like, what the fuck is all this? Yeah. So maybe one day all of that be explained because I don't understand a whole lot of that either. I actually have only read one of the three um, White Sand graphic novels. He's working on it didn't get a great reception, but he's working on the prose version of the book to tell that story so you can actually just sit and read it. So
Yeah.
we will see everybody next week.
Yeah. Eight.
Day 8.
Back.